In this video, I am going to show you how one can achieve a shallow depth of field or bokeh effect in video like this without using a DSLR, mirrorless cameras or DOF adapters. Hi, I am Dr. A.K. Venkatachalam, an orthopedic surgeon in Chennai, India. My professional interests are joint biologic injections, keyhole surgery, and joint replacement surgery. I create educational videos, patient testimonials for my professional interest. I also create videos on videography, do-it-yourself products, tourism, and gear videos. While recording a video, it is critical to you to want your viewers to focus on you, the main subject, and not be distracted by the background like that. So in video, when you're shooting against the background should seem to be irrelevant or interesting with just colored lights. You don't want to show the furniture and objects on your table or in your room. That is the reason for recording video with a shallow depth of field in which you, the main subject, are in focus and the background is not. In a shallow depth of field video, the eye perceives the focal plane of the subject, which is clear, and a short distance in front of and behind the subject. Anything which is away is not in focus. The background behind the subject is blurred out, as you can see here. It is very easy to achieve in DSLR and mirrorless cameras. However, many content creators don't own those cameras. A purchasing decision in favor of those involves several factors, including evaluating individual need, knowledge, goals, and life. Nothing outside those factors are valuable to individual content creators. The above paragraph is a philosophical truth about values from Objectivism, a philosophy for living on earth. Values are a species of facts pertinent to an individual. For those individuals desirous of creating content, most have got a powerful tool in their pockets, their smartphones. Smartphones can record up to 8K and lesser resolution video. One can easily record, edit, and publish videos from their smartphones anywhere. There is no need to transfer recorded video to a computer for editing. Native smartphone video is sharp and bright. And this is what you would see with the smartphone lens itself. Everything is in focus, including me, the buildings behind me, pipes, individual pipes on the terrace. A DOF adapter like the recently launched Photo Gear DOF adapter makes it possible to get shallow depth of field with your smartphone itself. I have a playlist with the Photo Gear DOF adapter. Check it out here. Using this DOF adapter requires further knowledge and additional gear like manual focus lenses, camera rig, rail system. High quality manual focus full frame lenses are rare to find and are expensive. However, the combined cost of all of these will be less than the cheapest mirrorless camera. Considering that many own smartphones, the cost of this can be discounted from the total cost. But the above method takes time to set up, especially if you are working alone and there is nobody to pull focus. At the end, the resultant video is of superb clarity and resolution. You can check out a sample video here which I recorded with the Samsung S22 Ultra. I recorded it in log mode, color graded it, and I used the DOF adapter to record this video. However, all the equipment mentioned above takes time to set up, including the tripod and the balancing of the equipment on the 15mm rail system, adjusting the manual focus lens to get the shallowest depth of field, and all that. So after having made a playlist of videos with the DOF adapter, check it out here. I was wondering if there could be any easier way to shoot shallow depth of field videos with my smartphone and not go through the arduous task of setting up a DOF adapter. I dug back into my memory and found that I had made a video of how to achieve shallow depth of field in a Samsung Note 20 Ultra a couple of years ago. You can check it out here. It aroused a lot of interest, and I could achieve a shallow depth of field by going into the live video mode, as it was then called. I also had used a telephoto lens as one of the methods of getting shallow depth of field with your smartphone. I'm not using all that. I'm just going into the native camera app for the purpose of this video. If you have a Note 20 Ultra, go into it and check out the feature of live video or portrait video, as it is now called. But that feature was applicable to recognize faces and also nearby objects. The Samsung S20 Ultra has developed this portrait video mode further. Its artificial intelligence can recognize faces and then blur out the background. So if you launch this app in your Samsung S22 Ultra, it will ask you to show a face. Then when the face is there in front of the camera, it says that the camera is ready. While using this feature in the native camera app, you don't have to rack your brains about aperture, focal length, distance to subject, then find out what distance you're sitting at, whether you're sitting at 6 feet or 8 feet, or whether you should set the focusing distance to infinity, 1.2, aperture 1.2, 1.8, 2.5. You see, you read a lot of it about manual lenses, and you don't have to rack your brains about all that. It's very simple to achieve with the phone camera itself. Just switch to that mode and you're ready to shoot live video like what I am doing now, with just a few finger taps and slides. For example, I am just sliding this finger a little bit, and you can see more of my background coming into focus. And if I slide it all the way up, bringing yourself closer to the phone and separating you from the background are two reliable ways of getting some limited shallow depth of field in smartphones. Higher end smartphones like the Samsung S22 Ultra or the iPhone 13 Pro Max now have got shallow depth of field features in their cameras. I am going to talk about the shallow depth of field feature in the Samsung S22 Ultra. One can reach this in the native camera app. So if you open up the camera app, in front of you, you will have 4 or 5 options like photo, video, pro video, and then to the right side, you will have more. So scroll down to the right side of your camera app, more, click on that. When you click on that, a menu opens up. There are several options within this menu like slow-mo video, hyperlapse, super slow-mo video, and then of course you have portrait mode and portrait video, portrait photo and portrait video. You have to choose this portrait video, and then you will be able to get shallow depth of field. Now I'm going to take you to my smartphone and open up the native camera app, navigate to the more options and open up the portrait video, and I will show you how you can achieve shallow depth of field using this feature in your phone itself. I will explain all that in the screen recording. I'm showing you a screen recording of my phone meant to explain how you can get the shallow depth of field in the native camera app of a Samsung S22 Ultra. On the phone screen, I can see the camera icon over here to the right. I just click on that and you can see go through all the view and then go to the mode. Here in this mode, you have this portrait video in the last row. So click on that. Now the more video is available, portrait video is available. So here you have, I'll change the camera to myself now. And this is the camera facing me, and I have in this 4 options as you can see from here. The first one is blur, the next one, if I click on that, is big circle, the third one is color point, and the fourth one is glitch. So these are the 4 options in portrait mode. I will explain what happens with each of these 4 options. Now this is the blur option. I have positioned myself in front of a background which has some objects here. The blur effective strength is 7. If I decrease the blur strength, the objects behind me, including the lamp and the cupid lamp, come into focus, and if I increase the blur strength, all those objects are blurred out. I find this little useful. I would go for this option. This is called big circles. You can see that the background is completely blurred out with this option at the strength of 7. If I reduce the strength, those objects come into focus. So if I increase the strength too much, then there is a risk of my hair getting cropped out. So I would choose the blur strength carefully. The next one is a color point. You can see that my video is in color, whereas the objects behind me, their color has been removed and they are in black and white. This is known as the color point. This is the maximal strength which one can achieve. And the last one here is the glitch. This resembles an old TV with horizontal flickering lines, and this is the maximum strength. I'm recording video with the portrait video mode using the blur effect. I'm going to change over to the big circle effect. That's a moderate blur of 50%. The buildings behind me, they are out of focus, and this is what you would see with the smartphone lens itself. Everything is in focus, including me, the buildings behind me, pipes, individual pipes on the terrace. I'm going to increase the blur effect now, and you get a decent background blur outdoors. You can appreciate that I am in full focus. So the portrait video feature in the Samsung S22 Ultra is meant to capture portrait, that is faces. It is not good at capturing objects or like flowers, etc. in close proximity to the camera. The Note 20 Ultra was capable of doing that, but that is the topic of another video. The feature in this Samsung S22 Ultra is called portrait video, and it is best utilized for talking head videos, recording talking head videos like this, where I am speaking to the camera and there is sufficient light and the background has been blurred out. If you want to capture videos of nature, park, or events in the outside world other than yourself, other than a talking head video, then you will need a DSLR or mirrorless cameras or a DOF adapter. The shallow depth of field achieved with the Samsung S22 Ultra can vie with that of DSLR and mirrorless cameras. Check out these sample videos recorded indoors and outdoor. My goal here is to show you how I can record shallow depth of field while standing in a park or in front of nature. So I'm shooting with the front end camera. I've activated the portrait video mode. It is necessary to have a face for the portrait video mode to work. So here I have some flowers behind me and my face is in focus. I will click on the big circle options that I showed before, and I will increase the strength of the circle. Notice what happens to the flowers which was there behind me. It is getting blurred out. My face is in focus, and the background has been blurred out. Now I'm going to flip the camera to have the rear camera face me, and I will repeat the experiment. With the rear camera I have the added advantage of zooming in. It utilizes the wide angle lens of the S22 Ultra. You would see with the smartphone lens itself, everything is in focus, including me, the buildings behind me, pipes, individual pipes on the terrace. I'm going to increase the blur effect now, and you get a decent background blur outdoors. I will show you my setup of achieving the shallow depth of field with the Samsung S22 Ultra in the next video. This video was to point you in the direction of this feature available in your Samsung S22 Ultra, and also to point out other methods of getting a shallow depth of field with your smartphones. If you have the higher end smartphones like a Samsung S22 Ultra or the iPhone Pro Max, you can go to those special modes like the portrait video mode, or in the iPhone you can activate the background blur or the bouquet effect. Hope this video was useful to you, and I hope that it was not very technical. If you found this video informative, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more interesting videos like this, then subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon after subscribing so that you will get a notification from YouTube when I upload new videos in future. See you in further videos. Cheers.